Hello everyone, welcome to episode 7, part 2, 第2 of Let's Learn Japanese. Last time, we were just doing the first part of the sentence, so where he was quoting things that people who do martial arts typically say. Not everyone, but some people. So they said, 武道とは耐えることだとか、稽古では苦しみ抜いた挙句に道が開けてくる. And so those were the quotes, and we talked about toka being something you use when you're making a list that is not exhaustive. And so those quotes were translated to, martial arts requires endurance, and in training you persevere through the pain, and in the end, eventually, the way opens to you, metaphorically speaking. And so now moving on, and this might be a long episode because there's just no way to break up the next chunk of the sentence, of this whole thing, into pieces that make sense on their own. So I figure we're just gonna try and do the whole thing. So here we go. So, 開けてくるなどといういかにも本物のように聞こえるが、実際にはそうした生き方は効果が少ないばかりか、ある年齢を超えてからは場外の元になる. Alright. So the first thing, などという, I guess. など is something that you would stick at the end. So when you're listing things using toka, something something toka, something something toka, something something nado. That's kind of the thing that comes at the end to let the listener know, okay, I'm done listing things and now I'm going to say something about these things that I just listed. といういかにも. Alright. という. Whenever you want to quote something that someone said, blah, 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 と言います or という. That indicates that this is something that a person said. So in this case, he's quoting things that people sometimes say about martial arts. いかにも. So that's our first vocab of the day. いかにも. Adverb that translates to indeed, really, or a phrase indicating agreement. So that's the dictionary translation, but stay tuned. We're going to sort of play with that meaning a little bit. いかにも本物. That's the next word. 本物, the real thing. And this can be referring to things or people. 本物のように聞こえるが. Okay, simple things first. 聞こえるが. The last particle ga, in this case, ga is being used to mean but. That's how you can use ga sometimes. If you see it in the middle of a big long sentence, something, 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 ga, something, 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 something. Everything that came before it is negated, and everything that comes after it is the real situation. So this will make sense in a bit. Just stay with me here. 聞こえる. Wrote that one down too. 聞こえる. To be able to hear. Or, in this case, because ni comes before 聞こえる, then the way to understand this one is it sounds like something. So to sort of put that all together, などというといかにも本物のように聞こえるが. So these things that people say about martial arts really does sound like the real thing. But that's basically what he's saying there. So if I put that together with the chunk from the previous episode, martial arts, people who do martial arts tend to say things like, martial arts requires endurance, or In training, you persevere through the pain, and in the end, the way opens to you. And that really sounds like something that a real martial artist would say. But, so that's from the previous episode, the beginning of the sentence, all the way up till のように聞こえるが. And before we go on, I'm going to explain this one. のように. Whenever you use this, here you'll put a noun. Here you put a verb. So a really simple example, 風, the wind. 走る, to run. 風のように走る. Run like the wind. Whenever you're going to do something like something else. Run like the wind. Sleep like a cat. Or I don't know, I just made that up now. 猫のように寝る. I don't know if that's a good example, but that's the correct grammar. Anyway, whenever you're going to do something, make a metaphor, basically. Do something like something else, you use that structure. Noun first, and then のように, and then the verb comes. 風のように走る. Run like the wind. Now you notice the order is backwards, but that's just how Japanese does it. Right? So, 本物のように聞こえる. It sounds like the real thing. が. But, so people say these things about martial arts, and that sounds like the real thing. However, 実際にはそうした生き方は効果が少ないばかりか、ある年齢を超えてからは場外のもとになる. Alright, piece by piece we'll break it down. Next vocab word for today. 実際に. Well, you don't need to use the に. You almost always do though. 実際. Actually. In reality. That's basically what that one means. 実際には. So actually, in reality, そうした生き方. And I have that one written down too. And this is the next grammar bit. 生き方. So 生き. Now, the basic translation of 行きます, to go, that's what it is. But you can use, like, I have discovered that it's actually kind of like English. Because you know how sometimes we say things like good to go, and we're not actually going anywhere. It just means we're ready to start doing something. And that's the thing. In this case, 行きます or 行き is being used to talk about a way of doing things, not physically going somewhere. And then this last one, 方. 生き方. So what you do here is you take the verb stem, so 行きます, and you take off the mas and you put 方. Kata, when you stick it on a verb like that, it means way of doing something. And you can put it on any verb. So you could say like, 餅の食べ方. How to eat mochi. Or, 袴を畳み方. How to fold a hakama. You just take the verb stem, mas form, take off mas and stick on kata, and it means how to blank, whatever that verb is. So that's the next grammar bit for today. Something kata. So, そうした生き方は効果が少ないばかりか. 少ない. And that one means few or little. And 効果. 効果. Which translates to effect, effectiveness, efficacy, result. And then the last bit is, this is our next grammar point for the day. A, bakarika, B. Whenever you have this, basically means not just A, but B also. So like you could say, 先生は 強いばかりか速い. For example, just really simple example. So, Sensei is not only strong, but he's also fast. Something like that. Cheesy example maybe, I don't know, but you get the idea, hopefully. Whatever comes first is the not just, and then bakarika, but also be, whatever that so you're not only this, but also this too. So he's saying, in this case, 実際にはそうした生き方は効果が少ないばかりか. So actually, in real life, そうした生き方, doing it like that, or that way of thinking, I'm going to translate it as way of thinking in this case, because those quotes indicate people's opinions about how to train. 効果が少ない. So, effect or result is few. It's not effective, basically. To sort of fix it into a way that sounds nice in English, and that sort of makes sense to English speakers' mind. ばかりか. 実際にはそうした生き方は効果が少ないばかりか. So, but in reality, doing it like that, or that kind of way of thinking about martial arts training, is not only ineffective, but, and then here's the next bit, ある年齢を超えてからは除外のもとになる. All right. I forgot to include one of the words. All right. I'm going to erase the grammar bits for today. One of them, anyway. A verb, 超える, to exceed or go past, some kind of limit or point. 1 second, almost done. 超える. There we go. 超える, to exceed, to go past a point or a limit. And then it's down at the bottom here. Really small because I had to squeeze it in. 年齢. Nen meaning year, de, this is like age. So 年齢 is another way to say age. So you might, if you're filling out some sort of Japanese form asking for personal information, you will see 年齢 written there, and that means age. Most people will not ask you 年齢は何ですか? They'll say 何歳ですか? Or if they want to be cute, they might say いくつですか? But most of the time it will be 何歳ですか? If someone asks you 年齢は何ですか? That's like, what is your age? Instead of 何歳ですか? How old are you? If they use the word 年齢, it's like a very formal situation. Maybe in a government office and you're filling out paperwork or something like that, and maybe he has to write it and you tell him, and so he's asking you these questions. 年齢, age. So, 年齢を超える. So, yes, and here's another grammar bit that I should mention. Actually, I'll write it here bigger so that you can see it a little bit better. Okay. ある年齢. Now this was very confusing to me when I first discovered it. Because the verb ある, to exist, and now you're putting it in front of a noun. An existing age? What? It was very confusing, but after hearing it in enough different contexts, I eventually realized that what it means is when they put, so for example, ある道場では、そうしません. So, ある道場では. Dojo, place where you train. ある to exist. So like, a dojo exists? What? I don't get it. What they're saying is, at some dojos. So in this case, when you put ある in front of a noun, it means a dojo or some dojos. Could be singular or plural. You have to kind of figure that out based on context. So maybe it's easier to just translate it in the context. ある年齢を超えてからは So から meaning from or since. So when you get past a certain age, 年齢 age 超えて to 超えてから once you get past, once you exceed 超えてからはある年齢を超えてからは once you get past a certain age. So ある年齢 in this case translates to a certain age. Alright, next thing. 場外 Next vocabulary here. 場外 場外 means, let me just pull it up here. Barrier, obstacle, impediment, hindrance, difficulty, things like that. 場外 obstacle, barrier. Probably the best two ways to think of it. の元になる. Moto is like basis or place. You might hear this. You might see this on a sign when there's ice and snow on the ground. It would say, 足元ご注意ください. Ashi is feet, moto is place, ご注意ください. Like, be careful. Be careful of your foot place. Watch your step is what it means. But that's kind of like literally what it's saying. The place of your feet. Be careful. Watch it. Ashimoto, place of your feet. So in this case, 場外の元になる. So literally he's saying it becomes a place of obstacle. But that's really not nice English. So ある年齢を超えてからは場外の元になる. Once you get past a certain age, you hit a wall and you can't make any more progress. And that's the end of the sentence. This is a very long episode. Hopefully it lets me upload this all in one go. We'll see. But, okay, so we will just sort of run through the whole sentence, put it all together so it all makes sense. 武道とは耐えることだとか、稽古では苦しみ抜いた挙句に道が上げてくるなどといういかにも本物のように聞こえるが、実際にはそうした生き方は効果が少ないばかりか、ある年齢を超えてからは場外の元になる。So, martial arts requires endurance, or in training, you persevere through the pain and in the end, the way opens to you. These are things that people typically say, and it certainly sounds like the real thing, but actually, in real life, doing it like that is not only not very effective, but also, once you get past a certain age, you tend to hit a wall, and you can't make any more progress. Now, that last bit about making more progress, I just added that in. But that's because I'm putting my own contextual understanding into it. But that's the sentence. Whew. お疲れ様でした. Thank you for sticking with me through this very long episode. As usual, if you have any questions, let me know. And stay tuned for the next one. I'll cut this off here because it's already gotten long enough. Thanks for watching. Cheers.